Alright, so this week we played Rabi-Ribi, and Rabi-Ribi is a game where you wake up and you're a rabbit, and as you slowly get your whereabouts, you back to the real world, and you fight this thing called Coco, and Coco's a cat, and she's not very good at what she does, because apparently she's poor and looks for mushrooms, but she has these powers where she could just try to defeat me, and it didn't work, and she just gets salty and kind of runs away, and then next up, we have, Ribbon. Yeah, Ribbon, which is the Ribby in the part of the name Rabi-Ribi, and she's a little fairy. And this fairy killed me once, and it didn't end well for her in the end, because eventually I beat her. And that didn't take very long either, only like, it doesn't matter. Alright, and then next up we have a Shuri, and a Shuri's a pervert who just wants to look at Ribby naked because science. And what better reason is it to look at fairies than science? I don't know. Maybe she just go about it a different way. Maybe she asked her nicely. Maybe then Ribby would be okay with it. That's fine, because eventually we beat a Shuri, and then she's just like, oh, I'll get you next time, don't worry about it. And then after that, we have Coterie, and Coterie just kind of gets ignored for a little bit, but she also protects the forest because that's what her life's about. And let's see, she has a lot of green attacks, as you can see there, and I died. I did like one time there. It took me a second to get a hang of it, but as soon as I did, it was pretty smooth sailing, and eventually we beat Coterie. She's level 7. I'm not that, and then she's just like, just don't worry about it. And I go underground and I fight this girl, and she's blonde and she's smart and she's not easy to fight, so I just keep fighting her, and I'm like in the background, as you can see there, there's Ribby's little friends, they're also fairies, and then I like die and I keep dying, and I'm just not having a good time with this fight. I can't figure it out. It's just way too hard. So I give up, and then I go and I fight someone else. Her name's Rita. She's blue, and she's a little bit easier to fight for some reason. And she seems somewhat rational, but that doesn't matter, because fighting is how you live in the world. And because you want to live in this world, you gotta fight them. And I fight her, and it's not particularly difficult. It just takes a little bit. As the other ones did, of course, but I mean, it's entertaining gameplay, so fuck it. And we just keep fighting, and then I beat her, and she's like, oh, whatever, I don't care. And then I go, and I keep fighting her because it just doesn't fucking end. And it took longer than I expected, alright? Just don't worry, I eventually beat her. One day. Just not any time in the next 5 seconds, but don't worry. We eventually figure it out. I fucked up the controls, actually. As you'll see, there's even a larger skip than usual. But it's fine. I figured out how to use items. I could heal myself mid-fight, which I do. And then I eventually beat her, and she's like, oh, that's weird. And then I go back to the blonde girl, and I couldn't learn my lesson. I kept fighting. There's nothing fun about this fight. And then I just keep going. I just keep fighting her because goddamn Ribbon, you and your friends just had to get caught. I just keep fighting, and I keep fighting, and then I keep losing, and it sucks. And then, yeah, this happened. So I just kind of gave up. And yeah, that's the end of my playthrough of Rabi-Ribi. I'm pretty bad. I didn't even get halfway through, so I'll see you guys next week. Bye!